Rumble is my favorite time of the wrestling year, because even if you get a bad one, you still get the whole 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can wait for the surprise. And every single year I like to think it's Repo Man. 2025 is especially an interesting one as well, because WWE could genuinely go in about 72 different directions. I mean, if The Rock is free, you could put him in there and have him be victorious, because not only would that make a lot of noise, but it would set everything up with Cody Rhodes. Nobody would be mad if CM Punk won the damn thing. That opens a massive door. And Roman Reigns could do it too. If you actually go into the past, he hasn't actually won that many Royal Rumbles for somebody of his status. And look, everybody's in love with him now. That's another guy people would be cool with. Ultimately though, I think the next 12 months in WWE should all be about emotions and sadness, and then eventually happiness, which is the person I am going for. That was not a sentence, but my friends, I am picking John Cena to win the 2025 Royal Rumble. And why? Here's why. Also, welcome to National Hood Week, which means you have to watch this video with your hood up, and let's look at the facts. We know, because I don't think John Cena is going to go back on this, that the 2025 Royal Rumble is going to be the last one he ever competes in. I mean, maybe he has a surprise appearance in like 2042. We can't worry about then. It also fills my heart with joy, and it breaks it too, because I'm like, well, isn't it just lovely? We got to see him for the past 2 decades. And this kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. John Cena has finally arrived at that place where he is a super duper whooper legend, so everybody just wants to get behind him. And he's another dude that everybody just loves. It's absolutely hilarious, because if you go back to that 2008 Royal Rumble where he did return as if he was Superman because he was meant to be injured, you get the incredible reaction from the Madison Square Garden crowd, who can't believe what they're seeing, so they're like, when they remembered, oh wait, we hate John Cena, and they start to boo him. It is wrestling summed up. That was eons ago though, and in 2025, while you still will get that same reaction, by the time Cena gets to the ring, everybody's going to be in his corner, because again, deep down in our Tootsie Toes, we love nostalgia, and we like nice moments. Johnny Boy winning it would give you exactly that. I mean, think how many fans grew up with this guy. He is basically their hero. Like, it depends on your age group, but at one point Hulk Hogan would have been your hero. Then it would have been Stone Cold Steve Austin, or maybe The Rock, and right after that, who was walking around saying, "You can't see me"? The answer is John Cena. There is another side of this story, which is what I want to get into now. Because actually, at first, it wouldn't be all that great. Because WWE would be absolutely bonkers to ignore the fact that Cena is 1 win away from his 17th World Championship. At the moment, he is tied with Ric Flair on 16, and I know, nerds, bless you all, of the world, Ric Flair technically has more with that. I'm going with what it says in the WWE record books. The real difference here is that John Cena has always been a WWE guy through and through. Flair went here, there, and everywhere. And that is one of the reasons why when he does come back, all the commentators are like, oh my gosh, he is the GOAT. They're not saying that because they think it sounds fun. They're saying it because they meant it. John Cena was basically on top within the WWE for 2 decades. And without him, well, I tell you, the industry would be a very different place. The last thing you want to do is make this easy though. In the new era of WWE, well, I tell you what they like to do, and I'm a huge fan of it, they like to tell stories. They also want to make you want things rather than just give it to you straight away, which is why I think they are going to tease John Cena throughout the next 12 months. It could be one of those things we look back on with glee. And to do that, you have to hit rock bottom. I'm not talking about The Rock's finishing move. I'm talking about John Cena has to reach some highs and then miss his prize, which is why he does win the Royal Rumble. Then I suppose he could go on to take on someone like Gunther, who does feel like he's turning babyface, but we can always do a 180 on that one. And even though he goes head-to-head with the Ring General at WrestleMania 41 for the World Heavyweight Championship, do you know what happens? That's right, my boys and girls, I'm sure you figured it out. John Cena loses. This would be so damn cool though as well, because if John did win the Royal Rumble and started going, oh, I'm coming after you, Gunther, once again we'd all be getting excited, because it's just the perfect match. And look at the kind of style that Gunther works. Cena would be tremendous at that. I would also keep this WrestleMania match shenanigans free as well. I would just have Gunther beat John, and we wake up the next day and like, well, what the hell are we meant to do now? He was preaching hustle, loyalty, respect. But instead, I just feel really depressed. It also means we have to ask the question, where do we go from here? But we're only in April 2025, meaning we have a good 8 months of John Cena in the WWE. That's essentially when you start telling his redemption story. Because of course he does have that self-enforced retirement that is coming in December, so we can just start teasing, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen for John. He was so close, we had it taken away. if you're like me, he'll get a bit on tenterhooks about this, being like, they're not going to do that to us, are they? He'll get his big moment, and maybe you have sleepless nights, because again, deep down, we're all geeks. You do need that Jeopardy, though. It is wrestling's secret sauce, and I actually think when you get to that December pay-per-view, which will be Cena's last, I don't even care, man. Come up with a name. Call it John Cena's Big Night of Joy. I mean, who deserves it more than him? The answer is nobody. Of course, that evening as well, you have Cena beat Gunther to finally get his revenge and retire with his 17th world title. Now, I get it. If we did name the event right after him, it would probably give it away. But I think by that stage, you do want to telegraph it and be like, everyone, please tune in, because we're all going to have a moment. And yes, once again, it would mean that WWE Champion is the way that John Cena retires. But I just think this is the way of the world. Let's go back to 2024 and what we did with Sting. Nobody wanted to see Sting lose, and people were so happy he was the tag team champion, because it meant when we got the fireworks and the credits rolling, we could just cry and feel happy about the world that we live in. And while I understand John Cena probably wants to be, I have to give back to the industry and lose to someone, it's what the fans want that is more important. I genuinely think they would prefer this. There's also the fact that doing that doesn't always work. Like, you can bet on somebody new, but it doesn't always fall into place. And sometimes, although admittedly this was the old WWE, they don't even give anybody a chance. Do you remember when Baron Corbin retired Kurt Angle? We could have turned Baron Corbin into a super duper whooper megastar, but instead the man wasn't even allowed to talk about it. So now we look back, we're like, well, what was the point in that? Once again, I think people would have been way happier with Angle winning. Now again, I don't think Triple H would make that same kind of mistake, because I think he totally gets it. And if we are talking about modern people that feel like Sting, well, actually, I put John Cena right up there. I also don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if Cena did fail, as long as that's what he wants to do, as long as you pick the right guy, like if Bron Breakker ran through him, or even a Gunther beating him twice, as long as you allow them to talk about it for a good year, they will get the most out of it. I mean, let's go back to Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. Come like July of the next summer, so we've been through another WrestleMania, Paul Heyman was still going 21-1, 21-1. He ran it into the ground. That's why it became so special. I just think shaping the year this way would be so damn good. And again, if you are going to shine a spotlight onto somebody, well, John Cena's a very good idea. Not only is he a proper super duper mainstream star, but if anyone has put in the time to get their opponents coming out the other end, well, it's this guy. I mean, there are just not that many talents to reach John Cena levels, but even if you don't want to do that, and you want somebody else to win the Royal Rumble, well, look at this stupid list I put together. Roman, Rock, Punk, Drew, Seth, Sammy, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Bron Breakker, LA Knight. Now, there are some that are more likely than others, but I think any one of those guys could be victorious in the Royal Rumble, wouldn't actually get that much backlash at all. I mean, some people would be angry, but they're always angry. They could win the Royal Rumble and be like, I didn't deserve it, I haven't paid my dues. But ultimately, Cena is coming in for a calendar year, and it just seems like the perfect time to tell a wonderful story, especially because, again, that's what WWE has been doing with everybody else. So why the hell wouldn't you do it with Big Match John? I am genuinely excited about this too, because you could actually take the list of names I gave you and apply that to the people that should be taking on John Cena. I mean, the Gunther match alone, but can you imagine if we did Roman Reigns again, or if we did CM Punk? That's the secret one I want deep down in my tum-tum. Because if you had told me back in 2011 that when we got to 2024 or 2025, they were going to be doing it again, especially given everything that happened in between, well, I don't think I would have believed you. And here's another little rinky-dink we could do. Remove Gunther and put Drew McIntyre in that position, and then change everything I said and have Drew McIntyre beat him twice. When we do still have a good 4 months until the Royal Rumble, not the Royal Rumble, until WrestleMania, anybody could be champion. That makes me damn excited. Ultimately, though, I do hope that it's John Cena's year, because it's the least that we can do. That guy really did give a lot to the business. Sometimes I think the business should give back. Once again, John Cena would disagree, but I am nothing but a humble fan. We will wait and see. Now, of course, please do let me know your predictions for John Cena's 12 months, and while we are here, who else should win the damn Royal Rumble? Again, I will take any name you've got. Ludwig Kaiser, why not, bro? Push him to the moon. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe, and you can click the video on the screen, which is me talking about more Royal Rumble stuff from the past, and who doesn't want that? Because again, it is the greatest pay-per-view premium live event of the year. Otherwise, Happy New Year, my friends, and I will see you, I suppose, throughout 2025 as we go on this John Cena journey together.